Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site with this story. You can get plot synopsis and character bios. So we are going to be looking at The Flash, number 171 from 2001. I'm going through Geoff Johns' run. Great cover by Brian Boland. Goodness gracious. I am sad that Brian Boland doesn't draw too many interiors. Most of all his art is covers. And by the way, the dude draws digital. The old-fashioned digital. Uses he has to look at the monitor. Uses one of those tablets that, not like the new ones that it's sort of like an iPad. No, 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 no. The dude has it plugged into the monitor. He's drawn the same way. He has made no changes. So, I've been covering The Flash since Geoff Johns took over, and we're gonna hopefully make it all the way to the end. The Flash videos, unfortunately, don't get that much action, so, but I like the story, so I don't see very many people covering it, so I don't know. Maybe people just want more X-Men all the time, with all the same stuff. I'm trying to cover, kind of stories that I think are pretty good, but they're not too many out there, meaning too many people don't cover them. So, all right. Most of Geoff Johns' stories are written in first person. They're not always narrated by the Flash. Sometimes it's other different people. But in here, you can see by the quotations, it's not any different. So, Mark Wilson had been working for the mayor for 6 months. First day on the job, he and the rest of the city were almost turned into salt by Dr. Alchemy. But the kid acted fast, helped distract Alchemy, gave you a chance to take the good doctor down. I'm sure you recall it. Wilson got his name in the paper. Early this morning, Wilson and the rest of City Hall were attacked by 3 unidentified perpetrators. Wilson was the last one to go. Poor Wilson. The kid put up quite a struggle, quite a fight. But it wasn't enough. So, Blood Will Run Part 2, The Harvest. Geoff Johns, Scott Kolins, and Doug Hazelwood. For the most part, this will be your regular team going forward. There will be few here and there, but for most of the run, it's Scott Kolins. Geoff Johns and Scott Kolins. Doug Hazelwood sometimes, for the most part, Scott Kolins will just take over as artist. And I really like Scott Kolins, by the way. Very minimalist. I don't know. I enjoy it. In this era of of digital art where people just basically take an image and copy it faithfully, he still draws like old fashioned, so I like his art. So, all right, so we're at the Keystone City Police Department, and I love how they put the day and the time. So, all right, Keystone needs your help on this. So Magenta will have to wait, Flash. And Flash, I love this because there's giving you enough. It's really cool, and showing Flash just walking around. So I told Frankie I'd check up on her, Detective Morillo. I believe that's a Spanish last name. So LL is J in Spanish. So, and by the way, vowels are long, so it's Morillo. So, see if there was anything I could help her with. She seems to have recovered from her mental problems, so I've heard that didn't stop her from erasing half of our hard drives with her magnetic powers when they brought her in last night. She said it was an accident, but enough about her, Flash. I don't think you realize the gravity of this situation. City Hall is just the tip of a bloody iceberg. Last night, a rash of murders swept across Keystone. Same MO, that means modus operandi, as the body you found yesterday at the auto club. There are so many crime scenes to deal with, the chief called in half of Central City's officers to lend us a hand. A move I suggested. Love the thick brush. I just um and it looks so weird with the computer coloring because this art almost looks like it should use normal um coloring, old fashioned. So the elevator opens here. The wife thought Keystone would be a nice change from LA, safer, stronger schools, and the guy looks up and looks at the flash. But hell, the smog's better than this refinery air. And he stops. What's the deal with everyone around here, Murillo? I got a sign in my back of my costume that says stare at me. And Murillo goes, look, everyone's been working overtime to find the motive on these murders, Flash. Piece them together. They seemed completely random. Rich and poor, men and women, young and old. No one thought there was a connection. No one could figure it out. No one but me, he says. He's kind of proud of it. Keystone's not used to dealing with crimes of this nature. I am. The victims all have one thing in common, one thread that ties them together. And what's that, detective? You. And here you can see Flash like, what the? Love this panel here, kind of looking down from the elevator. And this is Linda, Flash's wife. What the hell do you mean by that? As she's a reporter. I mean, Miss Park, in simple terms, that is unfortunate how informed the media are when it comes to real life of Keystone City's union workers and the problems they face. You people spend all of your time reporting what happens instead of making things happen. By the way, that's why they're called reporters. Reporters are not supposed to make the freaking news. They're just supposed to report. You know who's supposed to make things happen? Regular people. Anyway. Over 80% of the citizens belong to Union 242, and yet still they have never been represented properly. As the new union commissioner appointed by my peers, I'm here to change that, he says. Again, Kenyon, you're avoiding the question. What is your response to the recent accusations made upon your methods and your choice of business associates? People think you have some hidden agenda, and he looks back. They don't have a clue, he says. And so people keep asking questions, and Linda's leaving. I've had enough of this circus. It's early 2000s, so no iPhones yet. So she's using her cell phone. No one's answering. She says, Piper, it's me again. Where are you? Look, I could use some help on a background check. Give me a call as soon as you get in. And the ring goes back, and he goes, hello, Piper? And it says, Linda, it's Kim. The station wants you to get down to precinct 242 as soon as you can. There's breaking news. Trouble. And she goes, I'm on my way. I love the art. I really do. I like Scott Kolins. I love, for the most part, I am into artists that render a lot of black. But Scott Kolins does it without rendering the blacks. He uses the thick brush, and I know he has an inker here, but this is sort of what Scott Kolins does, and it's just beautiful here. So this guy's obviously following Linda, and so we get the two of them, and I love the long shadow here. So, what do you mean they're all connected to me? Do the names Jay and Karen Van Wyck mean anything to you? Asks Murillo. Sure, I get a Christmas card from them every winter. Save them both from the big train wreck Keystone had 4 years ago. What about Adam Burwell? No, I don't think so. 15 years old. Decided to go spelunking in one of the abandoned coal mines. North of Iron Heights, there was a cave-in, and I saved his life. I remember him now. Big football fan. You're telling me they're targeting people I rescued? Lives I've saved? Someone's undoing your work faster than you did it. how many? And he's got his eyes wide open. Here you can kind of see the bodies on a morgue. And look at this double page. Oh, just great panel. Not skimping on details. Um, it's just beautiful. I am a huge fan of Scott Kolins. So it looks like we are in a church by this cross, perhaps, um, or a cemetery, but it looks like a church here. So as I lay on my deathbed decades ago, I had a vision given to me by a higher power, a vision that was for all of us, the chosen ones. And this guy is addressing all these people here. And there's lots of them. And Scott Collins does his best Walter Simonson, in which he just gives you enough details that it looks like a lot without having to draw every single face. He also does what Simonson does, in which the closer they are, the more detail he gives you, but the farther they are, the more he kind of just lets it go. So very Simon-esque in this. So life is but a test for some. For us, it is destiny. Destiny to walk this ground eternally. Throughout the years, our legion has grown. Our prayers have become louder. So we continue here. We're still kind of not looking at his face. We can't tell, though, that he looks to be the villain that killed that cop at the end of last issue. So, and as the true millennium begins, so it is time for your mother to rise. Already you have retrieved her body from under the foundation of this city's precious industry. After we get her key, the cicada, I don't know how to, it's an insect. Cicada, I know that was done in the Flash TV show also, but cicada will be family again. Now, it is time for one of us to give their life in the name of our Savior, in the name of the Flash. And so, who will die for me? And everyone raises their hand. Just like a cult, and he smiles. This is very creepy. Again, I love the thick lines. Just love it. And so that was done because of a splash page. And so when these books are put in digitally, they don't bother editing it. They just show it. So, all right. And then I don't remove them because it's a pain in the butt. So, all right. It takes me 10 minutes to convince Detective Morillo to let me help the priest out by collecting evidence at the crime scenes. Mostly, I think it's because it wasn't his idea. So you can see Flash running, and I love how he's creating the speed. He's not the first one to do it, but it's still very efficient. I read the handbook on forensic science in about 10 seconds. I have to read it 3 times more to get it to register. It's like cramming for those quick school exams. I learn it quick and forget it quicker, but it should get me through this list. Over 100 people. No one else is going to have to die, even if I have to. And then he's like, oh no. And then, of course, he sees that cop. And so off he goes. But it's too late. I found this poor girl on the floor this morning. Oh, Julie. Shame, man. Left behind a baby, too. Let me in, damn it. Get your hands off me. Shire, relax. My partner lives there. Oh, man, I thought Morillo was going to keep Shire out of the investigation. Didn't he even tell him? Morillo says a lot of things. Doesn't mean he really does them. Man, I do not want to deal with this guy. There's a reason Fred Shire is the only 50-year-old beat cop on the force. You can see this dude is tough. Look at this. Definitely. You can see the ink and all the just to make him look old. Man, that looks pretty cool. What happened? Where's Julie? By the way, very Mark McFarlane-esque. Not quite as many tacks though, but he sees the body, and the Flash gets there, And I'm sorry, Joe. I told you I'd watch out for her. Talking about her dad. Try my best to protect her. Why, damn it? And he punches the wall. Officer Shire, are you alright? And he stares at the Flash. Flash, damn, jaw still hurts from yesterday. He looks down, sees the um, broken glass. I know I hadn't seen Julie in a while, hadn't said much, but I'm sorry. Her grandfather was my first partner, taught me everything I knew, how to handle my fists, roll with a punch, steer clear of politics. I was just trying to return the favor. I know you kids had a thing, but you ended it abruptly. No explanation. She told me about it yesterday. Not much else I can say. I better go. You were moving fast back then. Most guys do, but Julie was a tough kid. And so there's another picture with Flash. Look, Flash, I'm not going to say Julie thought highly of you for leading her on, but she sure as hell didn't hate you for it. If it's one thing I've learned, it's you gotta be upfront with women, just like you want them to be upfront with you. You can't hide your feelings. Love it when comic books start to preach. Thanks. There's someone I've got to talk to. Then I promise I'm going to find who did this, and we'll nail them. And off he goes. And the old lady calls for Shire. You know how we can contact the father? There's no record on file. And he's like, I got no idea. And so she never told me who he was. So we got suspicions, though. All right. And so he's talking with Magenta. He says, sit down. And then she's making the chair roll in. And he says, thanks, Frankie. And then she says, it's Magenta. Which, again, that's a color. I mean, I know they can't call her Magneto or Magneta, but I don't know. And Iman would have been good. That's Spanish for magnet. So look, I came to heard you and Linda got married. Yeah, we did. That's nice. Sorry I missed the wedding. And Flash continues here. Like real quick, like Brian Bendis is good at dialogue, so is Geoff Johns. I know Geoff Johns is sort of DC's answer to Brian Bendis, so I can't help but feel responsible for some of this. Remember back in school when your magnetic powers first showed themselves, the horrible car crash they caused. Your mother didn't help you. I'm sorry, your mother didn't help get you through it, and I could have done a better job. Wasn't honest with you. I try to make you into what I thought Kid Flash's girlfriend should be, a superhero. And as we know, your powers they put you on edge. I didn't really know what love was when I shouldn't have pushed you that way. I'm sorry, he says. No apologies necessary, Wally. As far as who I am, what I'm become, how and why I'm here. You are responsible, and I couldn't be happier. Uh-oh. So, and again, holding place for a double. And she obviously pushes Flash through the wall. Love the panel. Love how simple it looks. Very, like I said, very Simon-esque. And this guy's like, Flash, are you alright? And he's like, freeze, witch. And suddenly, boom, all the guns are gone. Wally, I know the truth now. Why I am the way I am. Why my powers made me kill my father and brother. And he's telling everybody, get out of here. She's firing all the guns, and so he's catching it. Why I killed my mother. You what? And why I can't kill you no matter how hard I try. Destiny controls all. Oh, look, bullseye. So you can see here as Flash is running. And so he's using his power on her with kind of creating like a vortex. Stop this, Frankie. I know I did you wrong, but you've got to let the hate go. Stop with the revenge. It's overused. And so Wally, this is not about revenge and or about hate, and she's wrapping this uh, pipe, I will say, around her. What then? And he kicks a rock at her. Oh, Wally, the children of Cicada don't hate you, and I love his reflection there. We love you. So that concludes the issue. Flash 171 from 2001 by Geoff Johns, Scott Kolins, and Doug Hazelwood. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.